Booze Hell by Little Johnny Cartilage by Johnny Mears. Episode 2, Sugar, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, and another thing, have you ever had one of those anxiety attacks where you're in the supermarket and you notice people are looking at you a bit strangely, but you think nothing more of it because Mike and Elaine are coming round and you've got no idea what to give them and you're standing in the 9 items or less queue, still getting weird looks, and you catch sight of your reflection in the cheese counter. It's only then you notice that you're totally naked and it's really embarrassing because someone taps you on the shoulder, tells you you've actually got 10 items, and someone comes up to you and they know your name, but you can't for the life of you remember theirs, so you start asking subtle questions like, you know those name tags you used to have sewn into your PE kit when you were at school? What exactly did yours say? Then finally you get to the front of the queue only to find that your mother's on the checkout. You rub your eyes and say, phew, to think it was all a dream, and your mother says, no, it wasn't.
Not working today then, sir?
Sorry? Working? Not in the conventional sense, no.
You going away at all this year?
Not in the accepted sense, not as such. No.
Uh-huh. Just put your head to one side there, thank you. Ever achieved a modicum of fame, in inverted commas, as part of an early 70s manufactured regional TV family, then spent the subsequent 20 years trying to come to terms with it?
What did you say?
Not working today then, sir?
No, after that.
Going away at all this year?
No, something about an early 70s manufactured regional TV family.
Nice stroke nasty weather we've been having lately. Delete where not applicable.
Oh, this is hopeless. Is this your heart? Mind if I,
Oh, sure, go ahead.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have your attention for a moment.
Bugger off.
I'm 8 to 7. OK, right, well, I'm Phil, and I'm the floor manager, and on behalf of Anglia Television, I'd like to welcome you all to the first ever recording of the Cartilage Family, a new weekly programme featuring everybody's favourite lovable, loony, oddball regional family who consistently find themselves embroiled in all manner of regional family-orientated hijinks with predictably hilarious results. The Cartilage Family! No, but seriously, folks, we here at Anglia want you to have a crazy time, so when I hold this sign up, we want you to whoop, holler, cheer, and generally get relatively animated. Let's have a rehearsal, shall we? And cue relative animation!
Can you hold it a bit higher? I haven't got my specs on.
I thought this was going to be sale of the century. I fought in the war for bastards like you. I'm 88.
Ricky, Brains and Little Johnny Cartilage, this is your 5-minute call.
OK, be out in a second, just as soon as we finish discussing the relative merits of Kerplunk and Mousetrap.
And who's better? Les Gray from Mud or Brian Connolly from The Sweet?
And lastly, who our favourite magpie presenter is, Susan Stranks, Mick Robertson or Tony Bastable?
Yeah.
It's obviously around about 1972. Personally, I'm still having trouble reconciling the suite of novelty records such as Little Willie and Wigwam Bam with the suite of such groundbreaking glam rock hits as Blockbuster, Hellraiser, Borum Blitz and, much later, Love is Like Oxygen. Ray and Faye Cartilage, this is your 5-minute call. Ray and Faye Cartilage, this is your 5-minute call. 5 minutes, Ray and Faye.
Good morning. There's very little point in introducing any of my guests today, as quite frankly, and without being too patronising, you won't have heard of them. My first guest is certainly no exception. His eponymous radio series, My Booze Hell by Little Johnny Cartilage, has just begun, appropriately enough, shoved away in some godforsaken slot in the middle of the night just after the shipping forecast. From rags to overnight excess baggage and back to rags again, My Booze Hell chronicles the highs and mainly lows, the ups and mainly downs, the life and mainly times of a man who's become synonymous with Anonymous. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning, Melvin, and thank you for those kind words.
Which kind words were they?
Well, the bit about his eponymous radio series.
That eponymous... Forget it. The series has been described as, and I quote, part autobiographical and part complete rubbish. Would you say that's fair?
Well, no, I'd say that's grossly unfair. What I actually said was part autobiographical, but mostly complete rubbish. You see, the whole point...
For me, the fascination of the series, if that's not a contradiction in terms, is the question of exactly what parts fact and what part is pure fantasy.
Well, actually, Melvin, I think...
Moving on now, we come to a young novelist whose name has quickly become synonymous with really good. Her first book, Bonfires of Profanities, was both a critical and a commercial success, which she then followed up with the equally acclaimed Rough Guide to Death, all the more remarkable when you consider that she's still only 8 years old. Her new novel, Gregory Guinea Pig Goes to Town, is published this week by Sargent Faber. She's my niece, Katie.
8.5.
Sorry?
I'm 8.5.
Kids, eh? You never see a bunch of adults sizing each other up and going, how old are you then? 35. So what? I'm 36.
Don't patronise me, Baldy.
Sorry, I didn't realise you could hear me.
Look, can we do something about this bloody echo?
There's got to be a way to Blockbuster!
Okay, well, just before we start recording, I'd like to introduce you to the 5 kids you're going to grow to love over the coming weeks, or your money back. So please, some more relative animation for the Cartilage family! Ray, Faye, Ricky, Brains and Little Johnny! Hang on, where's Ray and Faye?
Ray and Faye, you're on.
And now, from Norwich, it's Tuesday, it's just after Crossroads, and it's the Cartilage family.
Here we go, and there we go. On your marks, get set, and it's on with the show. Hey, hey, we're the Cartilage bunch. We've got a hunch that we're gonna get along. Hey, hey, we're the Cartilage gang. We'll start with a bang and then we'll end with a song. We'll make you smile.
Yes, it's the return to these shores of our very own Fab Five, the Cartilage family, bringing with them scenes of unprecedented chaos to Norwich Aerodrome and heralding the beginning of a brand new phenomenon, Cartilmania. Why, look, there's Ricky, Brains and Little Johnny emerging from the aircraft now. But wait, where's Ray and Faye? Ah, there they are, looking sheepish and smoking a cigarette, which of course in those days wasn't considered unhealthy at all. All together now, hey, hey, we're the Cartilage bunch, and we've got a hunch that we're going to get along. But watch out, gang, because the word on the street is that Northern Ireland's very own Mary Peters, fresh from her pentathlon triumph at this year's Munich Olympics, has teamed up with Manchester City and England ace Francis Lee to form popular beat combo Peters and Lee. Their first gramophone record, Welcome Home, is racing up the hit parade as I speak, which is about 3 months ago.
Little Johnny Cartilage, if I can return to you for a moment.
Go for it, Mezza.
What's with all this fictional Pathy News report nonsense?
I resent that. It's not nonsense.
And some people have suggested that it's tantamount to an insult to the listener's intelligence, expecting them to believe that over 20 years later the so-called Cartilage family are still living together in a small terrace house in the grounds of Anglia Television.
Well, there's tantamount and there's tantamount, isn't there?
Turning now to my next guest, the author of a new book entitled Bully for Me.
Class bully? Is that really you?
Of course it is, you puff.
Maybe your horse, but it's my land.
Look, all I'm saying is that I'd have quite happily given her one. All right.
Who? Susan Stranks?
No, the one after her. What's her name?
Jenny Hanley.
Yeah, I'd have given her one. In fact, I probably did.
There's quite a few parallels between the original Magpie team and us when you think about it.
What, you mean like there was only one who was any good?
No, I mean like nobody's heard of them since either.
Well, that's not strictly true. Tony Bastable went on to present various motoring programs.
And Susan Stranks was married to Robin Ray, whose father was Ray Allen of Ray Allen and Lord Charles fame. Or something. Tea, anyone?
And Mick Robertson.
I rest my case.
1 for sorrow.
2 for sorrow, 3 for sorrow, 4 for sorrow.
Blockbuster's about to start.
Yes, does anyone know the way? There's got to be a way to Blockbusters. And it's straight down to business. What CF sank without trace after just one series, Tuesdays after Crossroads, Anglia only, and are subsequently in fictional exile, biding their time in some kind of existential show business hell.
I know this, I know this.
Any offers? Well, the answer is, in fact, the Cartilage family. No, I haven't heard of them either. We'll be right back after this break.
That's a bit cheeky.
Andy Warhol once memorably said that everybody is famous for 15 minutes, but then he'd obviously never seen the Cartilage family. Probably couldn't get Angler in New York. At least we went out in a blaze of glory when the light aircraft in which we were travelling was lost somewhere over Death Valley. Well, actually that's not strictly true, but somehow it sounds so much better than when the Ford Transit in which we were travelling was lost somewhere near Grantham. Officially we split due to musical differences. Unofficially we split due to being crap. Oh, Dame Modesty, get thee away from me. We weren't as bad as all that. I still maintain that if farming today hadn't been so popular in the Anglia region, we'd have done a second series.
Well, a salutary tale indeed. A moral one, even, for... Let's face it, we all have a little Johnny Cartilage somewhere inside us, trying to escape. Just that in most cases it does eventually escape. Granted, superficially it's the story of a sad git, but nevertheless it's a story from which hope springs eternal and which surely gives grounds for optimism for sad gits everywhere.
Sorry?
So would you like any conditioner or gel at all?
Oh, it's just that for a moment I thought you said something about...
Ah, yes. Sit yourself down, Mr. Bragg. I'll be with you in just a moment. Usual, is it?
Yes, please. Instinctively, I feel I'd like something in a postmodern style with just a hint of irony.
No problem.
Johnny, turning to you again. Your descent into show business hell was swift, was it not?
So swift I didn't even have time to pack, Melvin. 1 minute there I was, lounging by my guitar-shaped swimming pool, strumming on my swimming pool-shaped guitar, fending off crazed obsessive groupies. The next is a knock at the door and a voice saying, "Taxi for Oblivion."
And when you say Oblivion, you are, of course, referring to the time when you became...
A pub singer, that's right.
And you clearly see this as a metaphor for your life at this point in time. You sat all alone on one side of the pub, deluding yourself that what you have to say actually has some kind of value,
Right to one side, please.
whilst the rest of the human race laugh and joke on the other side of the pub, totally ignoring you, scarcely acknowledging your existence, never mind what you're saying.
Well, I never really thought about it like that.
Singer sitting in a corner on a stool with fading dreams of teenage screams. Life can be cruel, it kicks you when you're down. It kicks you when you're down. It kicks you when you're down. I could sing anything. No one's listening, no one ever does. And I could sing anything. No one's listening, no one ever did. And I could sing anything. No one's listening, no one ever will. It's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. Pitter patter, background chatter, driving me insane.
My Booze Hell by Little Johnny Cartilage was written by and starred Johnny Mears, with Ben Miller, Peter Serafinowicz, Jeff McGiven, Rosemary Martin and Deborah Berlin, and with a special appearance by Melvin Bragg. Musical arrangements were by Spencer Cousins, and the producer was Gareth Edwards.
If I was what's his name, don't you know who I once was? Oh, well, that makes two of us. Don't you know who I once was, yeah? Once met Alvin Stardust,